Hello, my name is Venusian Calliope, and welcome to Braces to Jaw Surgery Boogaloo, where I am going to be talking about getting braces as an adult and basically being in them twice and getting jaw surgery, because I know a lot of people talk about their experiences getting jaw surgery and their prep, but I've hardly seen people at the age of 27 doing this, or mid to late 20s, early 30s. And I just want to talk about my experience and my side of things. So let's get started. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that plain toothpaste is literally so hard to find because you can't really get non-whitening toothpaste in the US. And I know that this may seem like it's out of left field, but it took me a long time to find some. And this is thankfully before the braces got put on last year in September 2022. So yeah. My second tip is to try not to eat foods that you know will probably break a bracket. Because usually foods that will probably break a bracket are carrots or nuts in general. And I tend to not risk it when it comes to would the braces that I spent so much money on break if I did this, because I don't want to waste my time or my orthodontist's time and be yeah, braces. And it is kind of annoying to deal with that sort of thing. And thankfully I've never really broken a bracket, even with this first time I had braces. It only happened once, and it was because I was getting a dental cleaning at my dentist, and they were the ones to accidentally break a bracket, and they actually called the ortho for me because they recommended my orthodontist. Because, truth be told, I had kind of bad teeth when I was a young child and young adult. And it took me a while to it took until I had money in college from financial aid to actually get braces the first time. And then I found out I had a class 3 malocclusion and an open bite. And braces alone won't fix skeletal deformities like that. Now, my third tip in general is to try to drink pineapple juice, green tea, or water, and just try to try to eat food or do things that make you feel good. But also some things can trigger swelling more so, and pineapple juice and green tea and stuff that has lots of antioxidants for the most part can help reduce swelling. At least that was my experience. I'm not a doctor, but pineapple juice did help me, and so did green tea. Now, one of my favorite things about braces in general is that you can pick whatever color you want for the rubber bands for the most part. And sometimes I used to get 2 colors because 2 is better than 1. And just generally it's just fun to get braces and be woo, colors. Especially if you're matching a cosplay or something. Sorry, I'm recording late at night, so if you hear like any voices, it's. I think my house might be haunted, but yeah, I live here with other people, but anyway, we're keeping it in. Also, one thing that like made my braces experiences easier was probably like dental wax for like pokey bits, like the wires, and sometimes like the pokey bits of like the brackets themselves that like point up, and it's just like digging and it's like annoying, but it helps to like put dental wax on it there. I mean, orthodontists give you dental wax for a reason, and yeah. Another thing that like I recommend like after getting like braces like tightened and stuff is like cold drinks or like cold food like ice cream or non-dairy ice cream if you're lactose intolerant like me, or just like cold drinks in general because like the metal the metal reacts with like the cold and it's like less intense than if you like have like a hot drink. One time I had like hot tea after getting my braces tightened and oh my god, that was that was a pain to put it mildly. But yeah, also generally like these tips are like about, you know, putting yourself like first and being like, okay, braces. It's fine. But like you shouldn't be afraid to like get braces just because of like, oh, people are gonna make fun of me for being an adult in braces. Like, I remember the first time I had braces when I was like 18, 19, and I was going through like the airport through like customs because it was like an international flight, and the lady who like was looking at my passport was like, "Oh, I also have braces." And she was like in her 40s, and I just think it's amazing that like braces are not just like cosmetic. They're basically here to like help people like improve their smile a bit and like add confidence, but that's not just like cosmetic. Braces can like improve lives. And getting jaw surgery probably will help me bite into an apple as soon as my braces are off, so thank you. Okay. Now, this is like more surgery prep, but like get a sit-up slash book reading. It's like a pillow, but it's like a sit-up pillow because like you are going to probably like need to learn how to like sleep sitting up in order to like reduce swelling from jaw surgery. And the sooner that you can get used to like sitting, sleeping, well, sitting and then sleeping. Yeah, that's a sentence. But yeah, the sooner you like learn how to like sleep sitting up, then the more used to it you'll be and habits. Now, generally when it comes to like people like doing things when it comes to like como se dice, when you get your braces tightened, it also helps a lot to like to take like a Tylenol beforehand to like ease discomfort. And yeah, like I usually like take one before like 30 minutes just so my mouth doesn't hurt as bad. And a lot of like the things that like I do is like about like decreasing like pain or like just general like pain management. And sometimes you have to realize that like the like week after you get your braces tightened is going to be different than the week before you had your braces tightened, if that makes sense. And in my experience, I'm talking about like from like the traditional like metal train tracks braces that people usually think of that go over like the front side of the teeth and not like the back side of the teeth that like some celebrities have had, or like Invisalign. I didn't have Invisalign, but like I had like the traditional ones. And also like another thing, and this is like again more like prep for like jaw surgery, because like when you have jaw surgery, you're basically on a liquid diet for like about 2 months. Sometimes they do like introduce like barely chew foods like 3 weeks, but this all depends on like your surgeon, and I would rather like listen to whatever your surgeon says rather than just some rando on the internet. But basically, eat like your favorite braces safe foods in the weeks leading up to surgery, because you are probably going to miss like eating like food that you can like chew, because truth be told, I got a little stir crazy of just having like soups and broth for like the longest time. I couldn't even have like a straw for like the first 2 weeks after surgery because I had stitches in my mouth. And I do think that that's like an important thing to like talk about when you're getting double jaw surgery. Like I thought I could handle it, but I kind of like lost my mind a little bit when it came to like eating food. I know this may be like a little triggering, but like, you know what? I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of this, so yay. But basically, when it comes to like eating like solid food, I got like a little nervous because like, oh my god, what if I break a bracket? Or sometimes you will do crazy things with like a handheld blender thing. Or sometimes hot liquids will like come out of the blender when you're like blending hot liquids that are just like soups and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I can handle this. I can totally blend chicken in my soup and ramen and everything will be fine, and then you just end up with like a mess, and then your pajamas just smell like chicken broth and you're just like crying, and because you're like hangry all the time. I get so bad with hangers sometimes because it's like, ugh, I need food. But generally, like, try to like eat your favorite foods before leading up to surgery, and just try to like de-stress things out, but like, oh my god, it is important to like know that like before surgery that yes, sometimes you will go crazy. And that's a train, by the way. Choo choo. All aboard the jaw surgery Boogaloo. Why did I say that? It's like 3 a.m. and I am like burning the midnight oil a little bit. So if I sound like a little loopy and sleep deprived, this is like the only time that I can like record now. But some of my favorite foods to like eat before like I had jaw surgery were probably like Cane's chicken strips. God, they were really good, especially like with the sauce. And it's like, yeah, I'm eating them now because I am like 6 months post-op almost. Well, 5 months. It's been a while since I had jaw surgery, but like I am going off memory. And yeah. I also liked spaghetti a lot. Especially like the weeks like after I had like right after I had my braces tightened. It's just nice to have like soft foods in general. But like food. I miss food. Well, I missed food for like a long time, and hopefully I will talk to you about the surgery part. Yay! Now, when it comes to like jaw surgery, like this is like me like pre-op and post-op, and it's important to remember that like everybody's surgery is going to be different, and each surgery is going to have like a different like plan and setups, and different like surgeons have like different ways of like dealing with like the nausea and other stuff like that. But it's important to like follow like any instructions given by a surgery team. So basically, I was told not to like eat or drink anything like after midnight the day before surgery. Well, I mean, not the day before surgery, but like, so let's say I had like the surgery at like noon, and then the night before, like at 12 a.m. that day, like midnight, I could not have had like anything like the night before surgery, if that makes sense. But it's also important to like make sure that like you're clear on like what the surgery entails. Like I had double jaw surgery, and in my case they moved my upper jaw forward a little, and they also like pushed back my lower jaw a little. But there are like different like types of like jaw surgery. Like there's one where they just like do the upper, or there's jaw surgeries where they just move the lower. And some like deal with like rotation. I don't know my exact measurements. And I probably could ask for them if I wanted to, but truth be told, I don't really want to know. Now, another thing that I think is important is that after surgery, you can always like ask the nurses to like keep people out if you need to. Like, I have some family members that are kind of rude and just not really the most agreeable people, to put it gently. And honestly, I regret not kicking her out sooner. because sometimes people need to realize that you need to like recover in like a safe space. And this is a safe space, if that makes sense. Like, you're literally recovering from like a pretty invasive like surgery. And it's important to like take it easy for like the upcoming weeks because like, again, it's pretty massive surgery. And it's inevitable, but you are probably going to swell and look like a dog that ate a bee. Especially like around day 4. That was when I experienced my peak swelling. It's just like, had like huge cheeks, and I'm just like, yeah, this is great. But like, swelling is mostly like a little bit discomfortable than, well, a little bit more uncomfortable than not being swollen, or at least that's how it's been in my experience. And sometimes swelling can like last for like weeks, and I will see you into like general post-op. Now, it's important to listen to your surgeon when it comes to like introducing solids, like solid food or like food in general, because like there's like different classifications of foods, and some people will generally like, well, some surgeons will be like, I prefer to go with this timeline, and some surgeons will have a different timeline. It's just like that sometimes. But it generally goes from like liquids to liquids with a straw. That's usually like around 2 weeks, or when all like the stitches are out, which I'll talk about later. And then it's also like non-chew foods, barely chew foods, and then you can like introduce like the braces safe foods. But again, this timeline will vary, but that's usually like the order that it goes in. Now, stitches can and will fall out unexpectedly. And this happened to me around like the 2-week mark post-op. And it's just like, in the middle of brushing my teeth, stitches, stitches, stitches. And it's just like, oh. I even had like a couple of like sutures on my like cheeks post-op, and I have like a little bit of scarring, but not much. Now, face masks feel nice, but I would probably like recommend them until like after like the stitches are out, especially if you have like external ones, like I did. But again, it's important to like listen to what your surgeon says when it comes to like, or another like healthcare professional when it comes to like stuff like this. Now, it's also like important to like keep brushing your teeth after surgery, because if you don't, things will get nasty. Now, I personally brushed my teeth as soon as I was like able to, which meant I had to like go get like a baby toothbrush and I had to use like toothpaste and be like, basically like brush my teeth with like one of those like finger ones where it like is kind of like a glove, and then you just like go around your teeth like like that. And it's just like important to like keep like plaque from forming afterwards, because like it will be a pain to get out. But sometimes plaque will happen and it's okay, but just try your best. Now, it's also important to like keep track of any like massive changes that like happen, like you gain like feelings back or in your chin, or other things like that. Now, I personally still I have like 99% of my chin feeling back, and that's kind of rare for some people. I had it like back like first like month or so post-op, and it's like, that's weird. And I mean, it's weird in a good way, but it's like, it's weird that it happened. But things like that can happen, but sometimes it's not unusual to like experience some form of like numbness, like in the months post-op. And some people never like gain it feeling back. And it's okay. But it's just important to like know that like that happens. You may also like get used to like sleeping while sitting up. I got used to it, and now it's weird if I don't sleep while sitting up. And now I'm kind of afraid to like go on the couch sometimes when my dog is napping, because I'll just be sitting there and then napping, and my dog's napping, and I'll just be sitting up, and my dad won't even know that I'm napping. It's kind of funny. But basically, something that like helped me was having like cups or containers that had like lids that I could like sip out of. Like, I had like a thermos that had like where you could like rotate it a bit and you could like drink out of it. Now, I spent like that first like 2 weeks or so post-op just like drinking pineapple juice, cranberry juice, and broth. And then I tried like making like almond milkshakes. And I blended salsa. Which, by the way, if you do blend salsa, if you blend the seeds, it will be spicy. Like, spicier than you probably intended to be. And it's like, oh, medium salsa now became a little bit more caliente, so to say. But it's just like chili pepper seeds, spicy. Now, it is also like important to like keep track of like changes in your face, but try not to get like too focused on like swelling unless it's like asymmetrical or anything else. If you have like any worries, it's probably a good idea to like call your surgeon or head to like a doctor to like get that taken care of, because it could be an infection, especially if it's like asymmetrical and massive and it's just like beyond day 4. Because infections can happen. I didn't have that happen to me, but they can happen. Now, I think it's important to like realize that like, hey, things are going to be different and you won't have like the same routine as you did before, especially in the first like 2 months post-op. You will be taking it easy, and for the most part, you won't be able to do like some of the activities you used to. I used to like go to the gym pretty frequently and lift weights, at least a little bit, but post-op, I wasn't allowed to carry anything that like weighed more than 10 pounds. And it's important to like not overexert yourself, because again, you're recovering from a major surgery. And I think it's important to like realize that. Like, I can't understate that like this is a pretty drastic change. And again, you want to be like cautious about like losing a little bit too much weight, especially if you're like pushing yourself like too far. But if you like take like a walk around like the block, you're going to probably be fine. But again, it's important to like listen to like how you feel. And it's also important to like listen to like what your doctor recommends, or like what other medical professionals say. Because again, I am some rando on the internet. You don't really know me. And I just want to say, I may have cheated a little bit, but basically, had I had a couple of like regular like plain chocolate bars that were like easy to like melt and stuff. But sometimes it like just generally like helps to like break up like the monotony and just take a little risks, but take smart risks, if that makes sense. FYI, I did not like advocate for that, but I'm just saying, if it like helps you like retain calories, it's probably a good thing. Especially like when it comes to like stuff like this, because sometimes people use like jaw surgery as an excuse to like lose excess weight in an unhealthy way, when it should be more about like prioritizing like health rather than doing it just for weight loss. Like, I want to do this because I like running for like this amount of time, or I like pushing myself, rather than I want to look thinner. But yeah, I also think it's like important to like carefully like ease back into your regular like pre-op life as soon as you're able to, just so you can like get used to like doing things, if that makes sense, like going above and like beyond. Like, I started re-recording videos like at around like the 2-month mark, and I started recording in bulk again not long after that, because I felt like I was bored if I wasn't like doing something. Now, this painting is probably like something I'm going to like keep just for myself, and I don't think it'll ever truly be done, but it'll always be like a reminder of, hey, I recovered from jaw surgery and I used to have an underbite and now I don't. And also, I think it's important to like, as soon as like the braces are off, just to like keep wearing your retainer for like a long time. I'm probably gonna die with my retainer on, but you know what? That's okay. Well, I mean, not dying, but I mean, you know, just being here and like existing. And there are like some good parts of like recovering from like jaw surgery, like especially like the taking it easy part. I watched movies on like my tablet, on the TV. I actually binge watched a couple of series. I saw Bluey a few times. And sometimes I like to mix the languages up just so I feel a little bit like smarter, and because I'm using like my Duolingo experience. It's like, yeah, Duolingo. By the time like this video airs, I am probably going to have like a more than like 2,000 day streak. And I wasn't expecting that. But I mean, if you just like keep going, you'll eventually get there, if that makes sense. But yeah. This journey has been like kind of like long and like winding, and I've been prepping for like so long. I started like recording like videos that would like play while I was recovering from jaw surgery from like right after Halloween to the beginning of this year. So it was just like weeks of me just like recording videos and editing them and editing like and recording 2 videos for like a week for like almost 2 months, but it was like worth it so I could like take like a break when I needed it. And yeah, I've had this channel for almost a year now, and I have 16 subscribers, and you know what? I am proud. I am proud that I got here and that I had jaw surgery and that I decided to make a change in my life as an adult. And you know what? I've finally like cut people from my life that probably shouldn't have like been that close to me because they didn't really have their best interest at heart for me. And it kind of sucks to realize that like, hey, sometimes that's family, but sometimes blood family doesn't really cut it, if that makes sense. Like sometimes like the people who like raised you aren't what you expect them to be, and you know what? That's fine. Like, I know in a perfect world I would have had like braces sooner and I would have had jaw surgery sooner, but sometimes people like to use like surgery or money or things that cost a lot of money to like wave it over like your head like it's a carrot and you're a horse, casually chasing that prize for like all eternity. But you know what? Things change, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that I am a different person than I used to be, and that is fine. I'm okay if I start doing like different things for the channel, or if I start like making shorts, because apparently that's better for the algorithm and I should care about what the algorithm wants. But you know what? I just want to like make myself happy, if that makes sense, and put myself first, because it's been a long time since I've like felt like myself and just done things that I wanted to, you know. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I guess glad. And I have, it's almost 4 a.m, and I have like recorded like this audio, and I'm probably gonna edit some of it like later in the morning or like tomorrow afternoon, and I say tomorrow, but it'll actually be this afternoon. Time is so weird, y'all. But yeah. Anyway, I would like to thank you for watching, and if you're still here and you like my content, please subscribe. It really helps. Leave a comment. And yeah. Anyway, the show or YouTube channel has like a budget of God only knows, and thank you for watching, and I will probably see you all in the next video, and the week after that.